Yes. Yes. It's crossing the streams time on Jetix versus the world. Everything entertainment in one little segment. Let's start with the silver screen.
Movies.
Andrew Dice, editor of ScreenRant.com. You can find him on Twitter at Andrew_Dice. That is his destination. Joins me to discuss film. Andrew, how are you, bud?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Great. I'm a Marvel guy, so I don't know anything about Suicide Squad. But I got to say, the casting is very impressive considering how badly I think DC has kind of botched the way they do movies. They land Jared Leto to play the Joker. They got Will Smith involved with this. Tom Hardy, who's one of my favorite actors on the planet, is going to be in this flick. What is this headline about Oprah Winfrey I'm reading on your website?
Oh, that was the secret bombshell in the announcement. Was a lot of these actors were rumored for a long time that Warner Brothers was going to try to make this their superhero Ocean's 11, and when they finally confirmed the cast, apparently that wasn't enough. They had to reveal that for the head of the team, the one actually sending this Suicide Squad out, they were looking for Viola Davis, Octavia Spencer, or their top pick, Oprah Winfrey.
I mean, what are the chances? I mean, Oprah Winfrey's acted before, but I've certainly never seen her do anything like this.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand their thinking. The big question is whether she would agree to do this. Usually, the films she's been in have had a significance to her personally. This is a character that you kind of have to be a force to be reckoned with, and when you have a cast like this, I can understand them wanting to go for an Oscar caliber or an iconic actress. But I mean, if it happens, this thing markets itself, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it already markets itself, but it'll be interesting to see if they can pull it off. All right, the Jurassic World trailer drops. I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan. I don't know how you can't be the original, and one of the things I liked about it was there's a lot that harkened back to the original. I'm concerned about a couple of things, just because you always have to be concerned about a couple of things when you're a nerdy fanboy. Are they going to polish up the CGI, Andrew? I mean, I just got a little bit of a Sharknado feel, and if you're going to go for something as grand as JP, I mean, those special effects back in the original hold up to this day. I mean, I think they're better than a lot of CGI you see in modern movies. Is that something that could improve before it hits the theaters?
I think it's a safe bet that those graphics will be touched up. Beyond that, I mean, beyond getting an extra polish on the giant dinosaurs or, the lighting and all of that, we know that gate shot that they used is not going to be in the film. They have a practical gate. But beyond that, the big question is going to be whether it's wise when you're dealing with this kind of stuff to go with CG over practical.
Yeah.
I mean, that T-Rex from the original still holds up because it was there on set.
Does, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you did get Chris Pratt riding in a Raptor biker gang, though, so you can't nitpick too much.
No, I love that. I'm not, and I love the fact that Chris Pratt is now like the biggest star in Hollywood. I
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't see it coming, but he's infinitely likable. I read the interview about Christian Bale and about how he kind of contacted Ben Affleck of being Batman. Is it at all surprising that he was never approached for the role in Batman vs. Superman? I mean, they're looking for an older Batman. He certainly knows the role. They made a pile of money with that trilogy. Why wasn't he the first guy they called?
I think a lot of that speaks to the clout that Christopher Nolan held with Warner Brothers. I mean, maybe it's off the books or under the table. He did help Warner Brothers get this comic book world for them started, and he had a beginning, a middle, and an end. So if they were going to undercut some of the ending of his series and bring Christian Bale back, it's kind of a shot in the ribs to Nolan, even if they don't want it to be. But at the time, it seemed weird. Now that we're seeing a new Batman, a new Superman, a new everybody, basically, all carried forward for what looks like the next at least decade, I guess it makes a bit more sense to start fresh than, kind of give people, as good as Bale was, even he said there wasn't much left there for me with the character. And now, history will have the Dark Knight trilogy as kind of this separate Star Wars-esque chronicle in the history that some people were there to watch live, but not everybody got to see Bale's Batman. It's the new Keaton.
Yeah, it's not bad. I still love Keaton best. Andrew Dice. Follow him at Andrew_Dice, ScreenRant.com. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thank you anytime.
Absolutely. It is crossing the streams, and generally we don't do two movie segments, but one trailer over the Thanksgiving weekend warranted it.
Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Jesus, there's the BFR just out of nowhere from a chandelier. I mean, the guy just works his way into every aspect of this radio station. Joining me to discuss the Star Wars Force Awakens trailer, Rob Keyes from the aforementioned ScreenRant.com. And Rob, look, I love the trailer. I love discussion of new Star Wars stuff, but if the trailer itself is this overanalyzed, imagine what the movie's going to be when it drops. Are the online nerds going to kill this thing for the rest of us?
Oh, man, I hope not. I am as excited as you. But you know what? Despite all the analysis and talk, ultimately, I think everyone who saw this trailer really appreciates and is excited about it coming back in like a new, more practical way, if you know what I mean.
I agree, but if I had one more dork email me about how the lightsaber cross guard would cut off his hand and it wasn't practical. I'm like, we're talking about a giant slug that had a robot eye open his door so he could feed hot chicks to a monster underneath his throne. Like, how you need to suspend disbelief, people, if you're going to watch these movies.
It's true. It's true. And everyone knows Star Wars is more fantasy than it is sci-fi. But it's tough, right? When Star Wars came out in the 70s and 80s, it was so far beyond anything else in that genre. And now it has to live up to that expectations in today's day and age where there are so many other competitors out there tackling the same sort of ideas and themes and visual concepts.
Yeah, I guess. The trailer itself, there was a lot of stuff in there that I loved. I love the Stormtroopers. I love Tatooine. I like the rollerball droid. But I'm sitting there watching it over Thanksgiving holiday at the beach with family and friends, and we're out for breakfast, and I see the Millennium Falcon, and I hear the music. And I swear to God, I'm 35 right now. It got me right back. I'm 12, I'm 13. I'm standing up, I'm pumping my fist. I just thought it was really well put together by Abrams.
Absolutely, man. And as soon as that thing ended, I'm sure a lot of fans felt the same way. My jaw was dropped. I was kind of smiling.
Yeah.
And then I hit play again to watch it again, over and over and over again. And you're right, man. That Millennium Falcon scene with the TIE Fighter and the sound and the John Williams score, it's really brings back a nice feeling of nostalgia for me.
You can go ahead and follow him at Rob_Keys on Twitter. When do we get the full trailer?
You know what? It's a good question. I know there will be probably a new trailer with like some of the bigger Disney movies coming within the next 6 months. You know, of course, the Avengers Age of Ultron opens next summer. There will definitely be something Star Wars attached to that. And there could be something sooner, maybe even over the holidays with something like Into the Woods. You might get a bigger teaser. Who knows?
Yeah, it's something that we're all going to be looking for. As far as J.J. Abrams, we get the cryptic Luke Skywalker lightsaber sound at the very end. Is he right now, after seeing the trailer and seeing all this mystery surrounding it, we know his bag, we know how he loves the viral stuff. Is he the right guy for this franchise?
Like Mark Hamill going forward, you mean, or J.J. Abrams?
J.J. Abrams.
I think so. I think it's smart. I think he's proven himself to tackle these sort of things. Obviously, he brought back Star Trek in a big way, and he did wonders on TV with shows like Alias and Lost. But I like how they planned out far ahead this time going forward. There were already 3 other directors attacked to do Star Wars episodes 8 and 9 and then 2 of the spin-offs. So Abrams is just sort of kicking things into gear, and he's proven he can do that, and then other guys will take over. Other younger directors, more visionary people like you and me who grew up with this sort of thing are going to pick up the reins going forward, and that's smart, I think.
Yep, can't wait. Can't wait to see what people that were inspired by the original movies are going to do with these movies. It's ScreenRant.com, and it's at Rob_Keys. Thanks for being on Crossing the Streams, bud.
Thanks again. Cheers.
Absolutely. Big gamer am I, so let's talk some gaming.
Video games.
Blue Shorts is somewhere cackling like a buffoon. Why? Nobody knows. My buddy Brent Molina joins me, video games writer and producer for the USA Today and their technology section, co-host of the Mothership podcast. You can find that on iTunes. Brett, good to talk to you, bud. How are you?
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Sir, first of all, I'm a little taken aback that Assassin's Creed, you got these 2 games out. They're still working out launch issues. There's patches flying around, and they're already announcing the next game for next year. Would they have been better suited to take a year off, despite the fact they sell 1 billion copies whenever one of these games comes out?
Well, you know, Assassin's Creed they're falling victim to the annual cycle, and I don't think it would hurt them to take a break. You know, at least you felt comfortable last year with Black Flag because you still had all the elements of an Assassin's Creed game, but then you were a pirate, which was awesome, and you had this giant ship, and you're going around the Caribbean, and you're doing, you know, awesome pirate stuff. But this year it just felt like a total step back. And it's unfortunate that, you know, it's happened this way. But I think they need a year off to just kind of figure out where this franchise is going. And what they can do to make it better.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think that it's probably in the exact opposite of what Call of Duty, this latest iteration, has done, because that franchise was stale as hell to me, and they finally figured out a way to kind of reinvigorate it with these exoskeletons. They put out the trailer for Exo Zombies. That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Is Call of Duty back to kind of being the it franchise now?
Well, I think they always kind of have been, just because they're on another level with like every other video game
Right.
sales. But you know, I'm pleasantly surprised that Advanced Warfare is as good as it is. I did not expect the exosuits, a lot of the new stuff they were bringing in, to do anything to make it fresher. And it feels like a very different experience, and it's a lot of fun. And it's the first Call of Duty in a couple years where I've actually felt excited to play. I mean, it was kind of going through the motions you felt the last couple years. So this has been a really good year. I'm really surprised that it's gone this way.
Yeah, me too. All right, the holidays are coming up. What should we be looking for? Are there any deals you can recommend, releases? What are these systems going to do to kind of out-jockey each other moving forward? It looks like Xbox One is finally gaining some ground back on what Sony, and they jumped out to that big lead. What should we expect moving into the holidays gaming-wise?
Yeah, Xbox One got a big advantage because they cut the price $50 with the $349. And even some outlets like Walmart were selling bundles with games for $329. So, I mean, it's definitely paid off, and it sounds like Xbox One's got a leg up this holiday. They've also got a lot more first-party stuff compared to PlayStation 4. I mean, PS4 is still the front runner, and I think you're going to still have people that see their friends the PS4 from the initial launch. You're going to want to hop in on that as well. As far as games, the one game that's sticking out to me that I'm very much enjoying is Dragon Age Inquisition. That's another surprise this fall. The first two games were okay, so I was kind of had lower expectations for this third one, and it's really blown me away. I'm very impressed. It's reminded me a little bit of Skyrim in terms of just the open world, and you can get lost just finding caves and, you know, fighting dragons, and it's just an amazing experience. It's way better than I expected it to be.
In honor of the new Star Wars trailer, in your opinion, what has been the best Star Wars video game of all time?
Oh my gosh. I'm going a little off base here. There's some obvious ones, you know, like the TIE Fighter games and stuff like that. But I'll say recent years, there was this obscure Xbox game. I think it was called Rogue Squadron. I can't remember, but it was kind of from the perspective of like stormtroopers. I played it so long ago, I completely forgot. But it's always stuck out because it's like a first-person shooter, and it's not what you expect from a Star Wars game. But
Yeah.
It actually works.
Yeah, I liked the X-Wing Rogue Squadron back for the N64. That was my number one seed back in the day. It is at Brett Molina 23 on Twitter. Check out his podcast, The Mothership, on iTunes. Brett, thanks very much, buddy. Thank you for joining me.
You bet.
Absolutely. All of my guests appeared courtesy of the Mitsubishi Electric Heating Hotline, and that has been
Crossing the Streams every Wednesday on Chad Dukes versus the